Hi and welcome to the first live ride review of the 2014 Suzuki V-Strom 1000 ABS. This is an impartial review and no comparisons to any other motorcycle are made. There will be reference to Hayabusas as I have been riding Hayabusas for the last 10 years of my 35 years worth of riding experience. But this is only in reference to the different feel between a Hypersport versus an Adventure Tourer. After this voiceover there will be the live ride review which goes from urban to countryside and then back to heavy urban. After the live review will be a voiceover summary which will be my personal opinion of the new V-Strom 1000. This will be followed by a brief list of stats and optional extras. Okay, let's get on with the live ride review.
Oh, hello everyone, this is different. Welcome to Mr. and Mrs. B's Braindump, and just before Christmas, and I am test riding a Suzuki V-Strom 1000. That's the new 1000 that's not out until 2014, and so I happen to be the fourth person apparently ever to ride the new V-Strom in the UK. I'm on it now. I'm just getting to grips with it. It is obviously totally different riding position and style than the Hayabusa. As you can see. So at the moment I can tell you, obviously being a sit-up and beg, it's obviously very comfortable. I can feel that already. I'll see what it's like a bit later on. It's a V-twin 1000cc. Got the bike for an hour, so I'll try and make it a useful hour. At the moment I'm just getting used to the controls and stuff and where they are and how it feels. Like I say, it's a totally different riding position that I'm used to. Oh, it's feels okay. It's a lot higher than the Hayabusa. Riding position's a lot higher. And obviously being sat upright as well, it feels like I'm sat on the roof of a car at the moment, but it's not that high. It's just not what I'm used to. Obviously for a twin it's quite low revving, and apparently torquey down low, but we'll find that out, won't we? I've turned off the traction control, being old school. Not exactly the best of days. The roads are slippery. One thing I noticed already is there's a big weight transference goes on when you go on the front brake. I've not obviously given it a lot of front braking at the moment, but even with light braking it does tend to dip a bit. So this is the V-Strom 1000 Adventure Sport Tourer, or is it Sport Adventure Tourer, is how they describe it. I've been on it a little while, not that long, but I can already tell you, yes, you could tour on it quite easily. I couldn't tell you about the sport bit yet. And as for Adventure, well, we'll get to that bit when I'll do a walk around on the bike. Obviously cornering feels really different to the Hayabusa. It's got road tyres on it. They're in no way knobbly. So this is obviously the roads that they're aiming it at now that we're on. It does feel a hell of a lot different going around corners. planted though. It is planted. It's just compared to the Hayabusa with its low down cornering, to me as a sports bike rider, I suppose it feels like an adventure bike cornering. There's a lot more kind of pivot, you know, sort of like that sensation on top, which is something obviously that the sort of sensation I'm not used to. Foot down challenge. I'll tell you what, the steering is really light compared to the Busa. Again, I suppose that's what adventure bikes are all about, and touring bikes. So anyway, it's a bit of country roads for you. I don't know how dirty I'm allowed to get this bike before I take it back. I can tell you now, if I did go onto some dirt roads, it would get very muddy. And some of the things that I've noticed about this bike, which I think Suzuki omit to as well, is the fact that it's a sports tourer adventure bike, but I would suggest an adventure bike for the road, for the tarmac. Okay, well that's a learning curve for me there. Obviously on a Hayabusa, the throttle is so responsive, you only need a little bit of throttle. And one thing I'm not used to doing is having to pull the throttle right back. I was starting to think that 1000cc engine wasn't feeling ultra get up and go, but there's a lot more throttle left behind. Yeah, there is more throttle to have and to make use of, so it does have some get up and go. Yeah, certainly does. I don't know this road, so I'm taking it easy, just reading it as it comes. I have to say, I'm very comfortable on it. Let's go left. Sorry about the wind noise. Yeah, but it does pick up all right. Now this bike's already done over 2,000 miles, so the back tyre's a bit squared off already. I'm guessing due to the fact that it's not really been ridden around corners that harsh. And this is one of the bikes that were featured in Spain a few weeks ago on the very first ride, I guess. Now then, trying to find an interesting. Oh, let's go to a landfill site. That sounds awesome. Wow, I'm not overly impressed with the back brake. I'll give it some more. Cancel an indicator. When you indicate right, it's a bit interesting. It doesn't always want to switch off. Yeah, it's confident round corners. It's like I say, it's a weird leaner angle perspective for me, but it feels okay. I mean, you can see it's wet and slippery, but it feels confident on the corners. I'll give it that. the traction control's still off for me, but then I'm old school. Oh no. There we go. Cancel the indicator. God. I've got the tyres muddy. Oh, and a big puddle. Nice little U-turn there, no feet down. Come on. Spin off a bit of that mud off the tyres. Let's try down here. It likes cancelling the indicator if you're indicating left. But if you're indicating right, you have to kind of indicate left and then cancel it. Well, I hope they're pleased that I took the bike on roads that you would expect this to be ridden on if you were going to an adventure. It's an adventure for me because I have no idea where I am. Right, let's pull off down here and give it a little walk around. Oh yeah, I'll do. Hopefully, I'll tell you what, I'll turn around down the bottom here. Right, well here's a walk around. Oh dear, I've got it dirty. Oops. Oh dear. A little jet wash will be fine. That's the issue I've got. Look how naked that oil filter is. Don't like that. There is an optional extra to get that sorted though. Oh. There we go. Let's get out of here before the farmer comes. Right, so there we go, there was a walk around the bike. Hope you enjoyed that. Well, I have to say, it is very comfortable to ride. There is a big dip on braking on the front though. I'm guessing that's good for weight transfer and stuff to the front wheel. Not used to dipping that much, of course. I have to say one other thing as well. I'm not the tallest of people, but I could do with that hump in the seat. Maybe just a little bit further back. I don't know, it's because I'm not used to the handlebars so close. That might be it. Something you get used to. But overall though, very comfortable. I'll give you that, it's very comfortable. I mean the Hayabusa is comfortable too, but obviously with this upright seating position, and I'm not comparing it to a Hayabusa just before anyone shouts, it's just what I'm used to riding. In terms of what this bike is designed for, it does like the corners, even in the way. I've still got traction control off, I think. Yeah. Yeah, cornering's good. It's just a different sensation. You know. But no, it seems quite happy for corners. you can see, it's not ideal conditions. Got lorries putting mud on the road. Now I don't know if you can engage traction control on the move. I bet that's going to be one of the questions. So I'll give that a go. Just so you know. Yes, you can. There you go. So if you was wondering, can you engage traction control on the move? The answer is yes. Yeah, and as you can see there, I just opened it up a little bit, and I did feel the traction control kick in quite quickly. Really didn't get hardly any wheel spin at all. And that was on setting number 2, which I think is the now then, with traction control on, it doesn't want to let me come off. Come on. Okay. Another question answered. Okay, you have to close the throttle, which kind of makes sense to adjust the traction control. So as long as you close the throttle, you can adjust traction control on the move and even switch it off. So I hope that's useful to you guys. Now obviously it comes with ABS as well, and I can tell you now, you cannot turn that off. Now the other thing that I wanted to test out, my initial thoughts on the rear brake wasn't overly amazing. Well, another opportunity to test that in a minute. The rear brake doesn't seem very grippy. Now I don't know, it's because of the way the bike is and the fact that the ABS is kicking in, but I can feel it sort of staying under a lot of pressure, I have to say, compared to what I'm used to. The rear brake doesn't really want to, there you go, it kicked in there, but it doesn't tug and slow the bike down like I'm used to. So then this is the first time I've rode a sports adventure bike, so you know, forgive me if that's how they are, but in terms of what I'm used to on rear braking power, it's not as powerful, let's say. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did feel the back brake try to lock up, but under what felt like not a lot of slowing down effort. How can I put it? You know, you kind of have to give it quite a bit of pressure on the rear brake, and at the point where it's not really scrubbing that much speed before the back wheel locks up, or tries to. Obviously the ABS is preventing me locking it up properly, so there's something. The front brake, very handy indeed. The front brake does what it does, brakes very well and effectively, and obviously I'm confident, even more so with these wet slippery roads, to whack on the front brake knowing that there's ABS behind it. Very good. Front brake's amazing. Rear brake, oh, potholes. Let's try out the suspension. Oh yeah, that works. Quite stiff actually. Quite stiff suspension. Obviously you can adjust that though. Screen, great protection. You just push it forward to adjust it. There it is, right back. And then it's on like a ratchet system. You know, little nudge, extra nudge. Great protection from the screen. Very good. So that's all good. Visibility out of the mirrors is good. I think they're a bit overly large. But they're okay. Definitely comfortable. Riding position is nice. My feet are only slightly back. I'm pretty much in a position where if you drew a line from my heel, it'll meet my buttock. So that's comfortable as well. Like I say, just my personal preference. I want that they moved the bars a little bit more forward, which they'll probably hate me saying because they moved them back by an inch apparently. Overall, it's very comfortable. You could definitely go touring on this for a long period of time in the saddle. Yeah. Overall, I'm impressed. Oh, little wheelie. Only a little one. So yeah, I suppose like most smaller bikes, I say smaller, it's 1,000 I know, but it would seem that, you know, if you want to really take off, you have got to twist that throttle right back. Not so necessary on the bike that I'm used to, the Hayabusa. There it goes. It seems more than capable. All the power's down low, plenty of torque, and I guess if you lifted the front mudguard fender, covered up the oil filter with the skid plate and bottom cowl, put some knobblies on, if you did all those little modifications, I think you'd have something that would be even more adventurous off-road. Yeah, but it's all about twisting the throttle back for this to get it to go. That might sound really strange to most of you because that's probably what you do anyway. It's just a different thing for me. I'm not used to having to whack the throttle right back to get it to go. But if you do whack the throttle right back, it does go. I'll give you that. So I'm glad I did that, just so that you've got that extra feedback. I definitely put some louder pipes on it. It would sound really nice with louder pipes on. Display's nice and clear. Obviously with the LCD display, yeah, mileage is easy to spot. Miles an hour, gear. It gets a little bit claustrophobic in the bottom panel, if you can see that, but it's not too bad, to be fair. Traction control lights will let you know that it's actually switched off at the moment. Nice clear rev counter. The grunt comes in around 4,000 up to about 7, and then it starts to wane off. Looks like a cigarette lighter charger adapter down there, power outlet as it says, so that's handy for anyone who'd need to know that. This is in its most naked form. I'll try and put some pictures up of it with its accessories on, so you can see that as well. Let's see how good it is at filtering. Very renewable. I like that. What's he doing? Checking his phone. I thought that was quite cool, you know, being only the 4th person in the UK to be riding one of these. And I have to say, this isn't a sponsored ride or anything, I'm not being paid to ride the thing, but it does what it says on the tin. I like it. I didn't think I was going to say that before I come out on it, but yeah. Come on, Peds. Yeah, I have to say, Suzuki, I am impressed. Okay, let's be honest though, me saying that, Tourer, yes. Adventure on tarmac, yes. And fairly sporty. Yeah, it goes. It goes, yeah. This is coming from a Hayabusa rider. Obviously, I think it's got a sufficient amount of acceleration, let's put it that way. and it's comfy and I like it. Well, I didn't think I'd be saying that. I have to be really honest.
Okay, that concludes the live ride review. So now I'm going to talk about what I found to be the negatives for me personally, and I'm going to have to start with the rear brake. I may have just had a bad bike, but to put into words, it felt like the pads were made of marble, so may need some adjustments from Suzuki. Even though the front fender mudguard has been extended, it still allows the front wheel to throw dirt, mud, stones and water at the downpipes, oil filter, engine casings and my boots. This could be easily resolved by fitting a wide extender mud flap to the front. This would prevent you from getting stone chips to the paint and so on. Which leads me to my last negative point. The bottom cowl that protects the downpipes and oil filter is an optional extra. Personally, I don't like the idea of an adventure bike with an exposed oil filter which has all the elements thrown at it by the front wheel. Plus the possibility of a vandal being able to twist off the heart of your machine, the oil filter, with no real effort. Lastly, you can't turn off the ABS, which is a pain. These rider assist features are great, but you should be able to turn them on and off. Thankfully, the traction control system can be turned off and has 2 positions. Now on to the positive plus points for me personally. Light and accurate steering and ample low down power from the 1000cc twin engine if you use all the throttle. The V-Strom is very confident in the twisties, round corners and has great clearance. The front brakes are awesome and coupled with the ABS give you the confidence to grab the brake in slippery conditions. Very comfortable ride and clearly designed for comfortable long tours of duty. The adjustable front screen is extremely effective. Optional extras include knuckle protectors, heated grips, a high seat, a low seat, accessory bar and protector, engine undercowling, a touring screen, a tank bag, an extended chain guard, a centre stand, LED fog lamps and LED turn signal lamps. There is also mention of an 2mm aluminium skid plate. I have not been able to find an image for that though. And the other plus point would be the price. The price in the UK will start at $9,999 for the no extras version. All that equates to $13,999 in the US. So in summary then, the new V-Strom does exactly what it says on the tin: sport, adventure and tour. It is extremely light and manoeuvrable for its class and comes with ample power delivered in a comfortable riding position. If I had the money I would buy one. It is ideal for all weather commuting to work and adventure when you're on your holidays. I would like to thank Bill Smith Motors of Chester and Suzuki for the opportunity to test ride the new V-Strom. Links are in the comments. I would also like to thank you, the viewer, for taking time out to watch this review, and I hope you found it useful and informative. You have been watching the Mr. and Mrs. B's Braindump channel. Goodbye for now and ride safe.